with this? Yeah. All right, Trey. So picture on the left was our before, picture on the right was the after. The number one thing, the king of the golf swing is the club face, right? And that is going to promote and kind of dictate what everything else that's going on is doing. Because that dictates where the ball is going to start. And so we need to do things that make the ball go towards our target, so we always respond to that club face. When we start looking at what happened, as you got up to the top of your swing, the face would roll open quite a bit. When we look at that from the face-on view on your before video, we saw a lot of like turn early, and then you got up to the top. You got up to the top there, and you can see just kind of the club sinks into you quite a bit there. So a little bit shorter with the backswing is something that we talked about that's definitely okay for you to do and get a feel for. Shorter, though, just means that we don't have that run-on with the club. So if we stop the club before just your wrist move, that's what I'm talking about as being the top of your backswing. So your hands are still going to be like over your shoulder, really high like that. So there really shouldn't be any effect on any kind of distance at all. When we start looking at the picture on the right here as our after, we start doing a really good job of getting the club face to stay quite a bit more closed, or we see the club face stay on the left-hand side or the player side of the shaft. When you look at those two positions right there, they're night and day. And to the golf ball, one's going to make the ball start in one direction, the other one's going to make the ball start in the opposite direction, right? So they're literally opposites going on at this part of the swing. Because we start seeing this much of a change, and you did a really good work on here, and just to kind of highlight the things that got us here were just that we strengthened the right hand, we tried to keep the right wrist flatter rather than cupping it, and remember, it cups the most when the body stops and then the hands and wrists just kind of keep the club going. That's when it would cup. So we got into a really good position there. As we started coming down, though, in the old swing, we would see a tendency for the club to get cast a little bit to the outside or a little bit steep, and that's because the face was open. It's you trying to get the face to close back down, and now what we're able to do is we're able to get the club to swing a little bit more from the inside. And so when you stop the club and the club's level to the ground on the downswing, for you, the club head should be to the right of your hands like that. And that's keeping the club slightly on the inside and going to see the ball want to stay pretty straight to maybe even falling a little bit to the right and seeing a little bit more of a draw bias. When we did this, we started hitting the ball right out of the middle of the club, which was great. And we started seeing the ball have a tendency to want to fall to the right. As we keep seeing the ball fall to the right, remember that the face is what starts the ball and has the control over the start of the golf ball. And so getting some weight on your right foot and mimicking some of those impact alignments that you were showing me at the beginning of the lesson are always the right direction to be going. You mentioned some things at the beginning of the lessons of what you thought you had to do. All those things are things that you have to do. You have to get the club face in a different position to do them, right? But so you are trying to do a lot of really good things. If you get the club face better, you're going to be able to do what you're trying to do. So keep working at it, and I hope to see you again.